It's finally Leo season, so let's bring on the boldness and creativity. But this week is not all about just having fun and being creative. It's really about transmuting old habits that you need to get rid of in order to evolve into your best and most creative and confident self. So let's talk about the astrology for the week ahead. Hi, my name is Ronnie, and if you're not familiar, I'm one half of the collective Jupiter Jews, where we discuss topics around astrology, pop culture, and spiritual self-discovery. I'm here to discuss the astrology for the week ahead on this podcast called The Cosmic Pour. I also wanted to let you guys know that we're now offering birth chart readings. So if you are interested in learning more about your career, your love life, your life's purpose, anything like that, click the link below and I'd be happy to help. Alrighty, so let's get into the astrology for this week ahead. Before we talk about Monday's changes, which is today, I do want to touch on yesterday's astrology. So yesterday we actually had Mars in Virgo conjunct the South Node in Virgo. And so this transit might have felt like a little bit of a drag. Especially, it may have made you tired. I know I was very tired. I know I was not organized. This also probably could have brought up things around perfectionism, old wounds around perfectionism, because the South Node deals with the past and karmic things, and the things that you're trying to shed. So with the South Node being in Virgo, Virgo is really all about, I would say the negative trait about Virgo is perfectionism, because perfectionism doesn't exist, and being pessimistic about things and very nitpicky about things. And those are like patterns that you need to let go of. And then with Mars being in Virgo, conjunct that, it could give a little bit of a push and pull, because like Mars in Virgo is, they have the drive to be a perfectionist and to be in control of things and to make things it's almost militant in a sense, but the South Node being in Virgo is like shedding those negative traits in regards to that. So, I know for a fact for me, like I did not want to do anything this past weekend. I was in bed a lot. Or I was just like, when I went out, I was very tired. So you may have felt those vibes a little bit because of that transit. It also kind of shapes the tone for this week ahead, because we are entering, Leo season on the 22nd. The sun enters Leo. And the sun, Leo is ruled by the sun. So of course that combination is like the best, the most beautiful, the most creative, the most bright, the most seen, right? But in order to show up and to be seen and to really tap into that energy, this week's theme is really to let go of things, especially around perfectionism and always wanting to get things right, because it's just not possible, right? And you have to be confident in your mistakes, confident in, not being perfect, confident in just showing up as your true self. This is really about, especially the theme of this year, I feel, is really about showing up as your true self and shedding those old wounds so that you can move on and, evolve. This also shows up in the transit that's happening today, July 21st, where Venus in Gemini is square the lunar nodes. So this is going to give, squares are growth energy. A lot of people are scared of squares. Squares are considered the more negative of the aspects, because it causes tension. But tension also creates growth. So with Venus squaring the nodes, there's opportunity to evolve in your relationships and really get down to, especially with Venus and Gemini, it deals with communication and your thought patterns and things like that when it comes to your relationships. So that is also something to think about. And since it's squaring the nodes, it's like, what type of relationships are you letting go of, or what kind of communication habits are you letting go of to evolve and to deepen your relationships and to help them grow? Also on July the 22nd, we have the Sun in Leo, sextile Uranus and Gemini. So of course, everyone's been talking about Uranus and Gemini because this is one of our biggest transits that we're experiencing during this time. And with the sun moving in Leo, of course, it's about self-expression. It's about the self. It's about, showing up. It's about shining. And Uranus and Gemini is definitely, sudden changes, breakthroughs, especially when it comes to tech, your mindset, the way you speak. So this is a transit or, a connection that's all about, nurturing yourself and pleasing yourself and honoring what you have to do and letting go of like that, you can nurture, especially when you have Jupiter in Cancer and things like that. But like nurturing is important as well, right? But you have to nurture. People say it all the time. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others and nurture others. That it's not going to work. You're going to experience burnout, Mars and Virgo, and going back to Mars and Virgo, like Virgo is the nurturing type of sign. Like it will show up. It will show up until they completely crash and burn. And that's something, especially with the South Node being in Virgo, that's something that you're letting go of. You have to nurture and take care of yourself before you show up for your community. So that's what that, that transit is all about, is really showing love. And, Leo is about the heart and about strength and about pride and confidence. And it's just like the ultimate love, type of vibe when it comes to this placement. And yeah, just really love on yourself, focus on yourself, and you will be good. On July the 23rd, we have Venus in Gemini squaring Mars in Virgo. So this can go two ways. This can, definitely spark romance, or it can spark, beautiful discoveries in your relationships. Or it can cause extreme tension because both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. So that's communication. But they show up differently. So with Venus and Gemini is a very light-hearted, I would say, type of placement. It's just like very flirtatious, very, just very airy, right? But we have Virgo that is an earth sign, so it's very grounded, but it's very, like Mars and Virgo is just very strict and, very to the point and getting things done. And so that can help evolve, especially if relationships balance that fun and creativity and that flirtiness with the seriousness of Mars and Virgo. That can create a great equilibrium, a great balance. I think of a little bit of the Two of Pentacles a little bit. I don't know why that card came up, but it's just what are you balancing? And how is that going to work, especially when it comes to your relationships? If you don't communicate properly, because we do have Mercury retrograde in Leo right now. So that could be prideful talk, prideful and competitive. That could bring in even a competitive energy. So if you are mindful of that, and not try to be competitive and not try to go tit for tat with one another, anybody that you're connecting with in your relationships, this could be a good transit, but it just depends. Like I said earlier, squares, they cause tension, but they are opportunities for growth. On July the 24th, we actually have a lot of energy happening in the sky. So the sun in Leo will be making a trine with Saturn retrograde in Aries and Neptune retrograde in Aries. So Saturn retrograde, of course, makes you slow down even further because Saturn is a slow moving planet. And it's all about precision as well. It is it gives that dry, cold earth energy. But Saturn retrograde in Aries causes you to, take even further of a step back and to really go over things, when it comes to yourself. Themes of yourself or what you're working on, what you're creating. With it trining trining Leo, well, both of these planets trining Leo, it just gives you more of a check-in, like checking in with your creative self, seeing what you're working on, what's working, what's not working, getting rid of it, introducing something new that can help supplement whatever you're creating. Leo deals with themes of relationships, of, creative projects, of children. So like routines when it comes to your kids, back to school is starting. It's like, are you getting things, the P's and Q's, together when it comes to that? When it comes to relationships, like, for example, me and my fiance started financial planning, during this time, and it's very light financial planning, but we have things that now that I'm healed, I had an injury, I had to get surgery. So, now that I'm healed and I can do certain things, now we can get back to planning for our wedding. We can get back to planning for moving, things like that. So it's like, what are you reviewing? It's kind of like a progress report. Like, how are you checking in with yourself? And then we have, the Neptune in Aries, retrograde that's trying, the sun in Leo. And so Neptune in Aries, I say it's a great thing because Neptune is a very dreamy planet. It has you up in your head a lot, very, daydreamy. It doesn't really, ground things. And so with it, retrograde, it does give you a time to really reflect on things that you have going on and not just be so daydreamy and up in the clouds. Like it kind of releases the fog a bit. And so with it trining Leo, you can definitely use this as a time to connect with yourself and your intuition and to, tap into your spirituality. I think this is a great time, or you may experience some type of download via dreams. Definitely keep a dream journal by your bed. Definitely stay connected. Burn incense. Like I'm currently burning Blue Lotus right now. So burn incense that unlocks your third eye and your higher self and your crown chakra. Meditate, use meditation music that's aligned to your crown chakra and your third eye. This is a good time to really tap into that type of energy to connect with yourself even more. On this day, we also have the new moon entering Leo. So this is the time to really unlock what you want for yourself when it comes to how you show up. How you are becoming the star in your own life and how you shine. What are you letting go of to usher in this new wave of confidence, this new love for yourself, this new creativity. That's what it's all about. It's just, especially with this week, it's just like, what are we shedding? This is the transmutation week. What are we shedding to be our higher and brightest self? That's what this new moon is about. So create rituals around, self-care, take you a spiritual bath that really nurture yourself and what you want and how you want to show up in your beauty routine and, just really just being the baddest bitch out there. Straight up, I'm probably going to bleep that, but you know what I mean. Okay. The last transit that we have on July the 24th, is the sun in Leo is creating an opposition to Pluto in Aquarius. So I would just say like the vibe on Aquarius, they're going to tell you tell it like it is. They're going to be honest about it. They're going to be, they're going to open up your mind and they're going to be quite frank about it. But it's for you to grow and to learn more and to evolve. So with this opposition happening, it is going to create a bit of an obstacle when it comes to, your self-confidence, because something may highlight, something that you may miss, when it comes to, how you're growing and how you're operating in life and with others. It is going to create, a vibe around just mistakes. Like it's going to highlight mistakes that you probably are making, and things that you need to work on. And it may be a little bit of a hard truth, but it is going to be a great teacher for you to help you evolve your creative thinking. It's going to help you evolve your ego. It may even cause a bit of an ego death. The Pluto is all about transformation. So that is just something to keep in mind. Don't crash out. It's just an obstacle, but obstacles create growth and they create longevity, to be quite honest, if you really learn that lesson and transmute it and use it in your benefit. Alrighty. So that is the cosmic pour, the astrology astrology for the week ahead. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said earlier, if you are interested in a birth chart reading, definitely click the link below. And of course, always tune into Jupiter Juice Podcast. We release the episode every Thursday. And other than that, I hope you have a beautiful week. Bye.